To hike or not to hike? That is the question. There are a lot of questions I need to ask myself before deciding to thru hike any trail. And the first question might be, which trail? I've hiked sections of the Appalachian Trail. I have almost about 700 miles done of that. So, doing a thru hike of that'd be kind of easy actually. It's close to home. The Pacific Crest Trail, that's on everybody's minds, but it scares me. I see my body being found next to a cactus and one next to the skull of one of those longhorn steers that went across the country hundreds of years ago. I also see myself sliding off a glacier in the high Sierras and getting impaled on all the icy stalagmites as my body hits. So a PCT might not be my first. I've already thru hiked the King's Trail in Sweden, and I wrote about that in my book. I'll show you a picture here. In the first part of the book, I tell you about how to prepare for a long distance hike, and then I also tell you about all the views and the people, how wonderful it is. The AT, though, being in my backyard, is probably the front runner. Springer Mountain is a day's drive from home, not even really a long day's drive, as is Mount Greylock in Massachusetts. If I want to go to Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, a night in a hotel, or one time even spend a night camping at a state park, about halfway. So there's definitely options, and AT seems to be about the best. Am I in the right time of my life to do this? A lot of people do thru hikes at transitions, after high school, after college, between careers or jobs, after the military service like Earl Schaefer did. Is this the right time for me? I am retired, so I'm voting yes. This is the right time to do a thru hike. Maybe one of the most important questions is, can I physically do it? Oh, a thru hike, 2,000 something miles, that's quite strenuous. And I think I can do it. Like I said before, I've completed 700 miles on sections of the Appalachian Trail, thru hiked the King's Trail, and different sections of the PCT and the Ice Age Trail. Local trails around here on weekends, go out and do 10 miles. I can do it. Another important question, do I have the knowledge and the skills to complete a thru hike? As you watch my videos, you might be saying to yourself, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And in fact, on Mondays, I do release videos telling you all the mistakes I make. And I keep making them. It isn't that there's a completed list and there's a finite number of mistakes I can tell you about. They're still coming out. But fundamentally, I do have the skills and knowledge. I've done a lot of backpacking and a lot of education. I'm good to go. Can I afford to do a thru hike? Historically, people reported it costs about $1,000 a month to do a thru hike, and that's about $6,000 for the Appalachian Trail. Now, in the last few years, there's historical high inflation. Let's raise that $6,000 estimate up to maybe $10,000. And then, because I might like to platinum blaze a little bit, and I'm probably going to go home to see my grandkids and my wife and my son a few times during the hike, let's raise it up to $15,000. If that's what it would cost me from beginning to end. Do I want to spend $15,000 to thru hike the Appalachian Trail? Maybe not. That's quite a bit of money. But I could do it probably if I borrow against next year's recreation and travel budget. So let's say that I can afford to do it. Can I meet my commitments while I'm gone? 6 months is a long time to be away from home, even if you can call home once in a while or get on the internet to pay bills. It's still a long time to be away. So if you have a job, that's obviously an issue. What are you going to do about that? I'm retired. I don't have a job. In fact, after I retired, I did work for REI for several years, but even part-time work started cutting into my retirement too much. So I had to leave that so I could be outside more. Most people are members of families or know people who are. Can you meet your commitments to your family? As my son was growing up, I had a mantra. He's only going to be 1.5 once. He's only going to be 3 once. He's only going to be 6 once. And I used that to change my decision-making process. I did everything I could to maximize my time with my son. What are you going to do about your kids? Is going away really fair to your partner or your spouse if you have little kids in school? Maybe like me, you have grandkids that are so adorable. You can't be away from them for very long at all. Thru hike might not be the right thing. And that brings me to my thru hike announcement for 2024. I'm here today to announce to you, you're the first to hear this, I will not be thru hiking any long distance trail in 2024. I need to be around my grandkids and my son and my wife. I would miss them far too much to be away that long. Though, you shorter trails, I'm coming for you. If you have any suggestions of a thru hike, a trail somewhere that might take, maybe a month or so, I can be away for a month. Please hike, subscribe, share with your friends. See you down the trail.